Well, hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we're live on Friday evening, which is always fun, where we talk about coping with life. And on Friday evenings, we try to cook on a budget, but also cook slightly healthier meals and also have fun doing it. Now, just so that you know, Dear Mama Style is not just me, it's a group of people who get together. And some of them join me on Friday lunchtime where we talk about coping with feelings. Some of them join me for the Friday evening broadcast, and some other viewers join us on Sunday afternoon where I talk about coping with stress. The main thing is we are a group of people who get together and support each other in fun things and also learning more and more about ourselves. So, hi there to Jeannie, always good to see you. To Iz, always a pleasure to see you as well. And tonight we're going to be cooking up cinnamon buns. Hi, Jody, good to see you. For those of you who don't know, Jody is our admin. We're going to be cooking up some cinnamon buns, but I'm going to have fun doing it. You know me. Hi there, May. Good to see you as well. And I don't think we've seen you before, so here's a big hug to you, and let us know where you're from. Just basically which country you're from or which state you're from, just so that we can all share our experiences with you. By the way, I'm sitting in southern British Columbia in Canada, which will account for a lot of things. And I am 75, just you don't have to give your age, maybe a decade, or you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, just so that people can relate to it. And I will ask my other viewers that are online at the moment to give May the same information just so that she can um, know where you're all from. All right, so May, I'm going to presume from this point onwards that if you put anything up in the chat, it means I can repeat it unless you start with the words "do not repeat." Don't put it at the end, because 9 times out of 10, I'm halfway through reading it before I see the bit at the end. So if you don't want me to repeat anything, put it at the beginning. But May, just understand, if you put it up here, I'm going to presume it's okay to repeat it. And feel free to join in and have fun, because we all do. So while the viewers that are online at the moment are sharing their information, I'm going to talk you through a little bit of what we're doing. You all know, first of all, we've got gardening updates. I'm sorry, I've got to do this. I don't know if you can see right at the back there. This is my tomato plant, and it's already hitting the top of my greenhouse window. I'm growing it hydroponically. That means I'm just doing it in water with a bit of good stuff in it, right? And then on this side, I have my pepper plant that is also touching the top now of my greenhouse window. It is so exciting. They're both having babies, which means I have succeeded. Well, I haven't got there yet. I have got to the baby stages. And any minute now, I'm going to be able to prove that you can grow these things indoors. Hopefully, I can continue to do it during the winter. I am working on sustainable stuff. It's so exciting. Jody, just to let you know, your brood, I transferred them into slightly bigger pots this week. And I didn't worry about transplanting them all because I got more than enough, but I'm just going to try and keep hold of these. But what I thought I'd show you is I've got an experiment here. Some of them I've just put in water. All right, so I want you to be able to see. Can you see this? You probably can't see that. If I can get the angle right, you probably can. But some of those are already dropping roots down. Amazing. Very, very exciting for me. Now, tonight, I have already taken 1 cup of Irish stew, and I know that's going to taste so good. I'm going to add a little bit of mint to it before I eat it. But what I wanted to show you, how many of you have heard me say that I eat dessert every day, even though I'm diabetic, under control, without medication? So what I wanted to show you was, before the broadcast, I made up my weekly dough, and this actually will last me more than a week. I made quite a big batch because I know I'm going to use some of this for cooking that's tonight. But I allow myself 3 ounces of dough a day. Is it 3 ounces? Yes, I think so. About 100 grams for those of you who speak anything other than American. And what I wanted to show you was I choose what I do with it. Sometimes I turn it into pita bread. Most days I make a pita bread, which I cut in half. So I only have half of that every day. On other days, I turn it into pizza. Other days, I dunk it in oil and vinegar with some herbs in it. You know, it's what I call my go-to bread dough. Tonight, I'm going to show you, I'm going to take out about 2 ounces, I think. Here we go. Oh, that's 3. That's 2.5. Nearly. I would like 2 ounces to be more than this. Oh, 1.8. Add a bit salt. Add a bit. 1.9. Add a tiny bit more salt. 2. Exactly 2. Now remember, I allow myself 4 ounces of this a day, but this is 2. Okay? That much dough. How many of you are going, that's nothing? Well, what I choose to do is to make desserts. But instead of using pastry, I use multigrain bread dough that I've made. And some of you watched me make this the other day. So what I'm going to do here is just flour here. And now my rolling pin, you can put different things on the end depending on how thick you want it. I found that the blue level is perfect for making my pitas. So we're going to do roughly the same. Now, normally, if I'm going to make pastry, right, in the days before I was diabetic or keeping my diabetes under control, I would have used short crust pastry. Agreed? Let me tell you why I've stopped doing that. Anybody interested? Short crust pastry basically for the same amount is about 330 calories. My 2 ounces here of multigrain is 180. Understand why I've changed? However, I do like it to have some sweetness in it. So let's do some, easy for you to say, collaboration here. What could I add to my dough to make it more sweet? All right? I've got lots of choices in my life. I'm now going to take, I just want to get a bit more dough. I'm going to take another 2 because that would be my 4 ounces a day. Oh, pretty close, so well done. I just realized I could start with, I can do 4 now because you all understand what I'm doing. All right, I could add honey. Good idea. That's one, Jeannie. Anybody else? What else could I add to make it sweet dough rather than just multigrain bread dough? Absolutely, I could add honey. So I've got honey as a choice here. Hold on 1 second. I've got all sorts of things that I've What did I do with the honey one? I printed it out. I know that. Short crust is that. Oh, honey is here. Okay. Honey is one. What else could I use? Remembering I come from Canada. Cinnamon sugar substitute. Cinnamon and sugar substitute. Good idea. All right. Also, so powdered sugar could be one. All right. Or I could use stevia. Maple, of course, because I am in Canada. However, would you like to know the difference between the 100% organic or the no sugar added type version? You understand, all the way I've got choices. I don't have to put sugar on there if I don't want to. So here's the difference. Get the glasses on, Sal. I thought this was fascinating. Pure maple syrup, quarter of a cup, 210 calories. Quarter of a cup is an awful lot. We don't need that much. However, this one, which is the natural organic Canadian maple taste, all right, it only has 1.5 calories per serving, and a serving is 4 tablespoons. Gotta love that. So it's sugar-free syrup, all right? So this one, 210, this one, per 4 tablespoons, 1.4 calories. Which one do you think I'll choose? Now, if I were having people for dinner, not eating them, but entertaining them, I'd use the real one. But for my everyday, because I like dessert every day, I'm going to use this. I'm just going to spread some maple syrup over it. Yeah, that's about the size of my average pita. All right, and when I cook that up and I cut it in half. So this is one idea. We could do that, no problem at all. So I'm going to take the stevia. I'm going to put just a little drab of it on there. Like that. Probably more than sweet enough. Smells wonderful. I'm going to put some of that on there. That's way too much. I could have done twice this with that amount. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to incorporate it in the dough. Oh, it's going to be very sweet. But with hardly any calories. Good idea. And sugars. No sugars. What did I do with it, people? There we go. Now, the next thing, we all agree that losing weight starts in the kitchen. Doesn't mean you have to stop eating everything. It means be careful how much you eat. So I've got choices. I could cut with this, okay, and make shells this big, but I can already tell you I could double it right now. Didn't double it, but definitely made it a little bit thinner, and therefore portion control. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you. Sandy, we've got May in the room. I think she's still in the room, and she will tell you what you need to know. Please let her know where you're from. So now we've got this with maple syrup as a base. And we're going to make cinnamon rolls. So we need some cinnamon. Oh, we need a little bit of butter. Again, a little bit of butter is not going to do anybody any harm. It's how much are you going to put on there. So I'm literally going to take a little bit of butter on my finger. Okay. And just spread it on there. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on there. Now then, we've got all sorts of choices for fruit. Here I have got some frozen, it was frozen, it isn't anymore, frozen strawberry banana with a little dash of lemon in it. And I'm just going to strain the liquid off it, because obviously, because it was frozen, it's going to have liquid. So we'll turn that and let that do. So that's one option. By the way, fruit naturally has sugars in it, so that tastes good. Tastes really good. And it's still cold from the ice. Anybody getting hungry yet? I hate to waste these bits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little base here and just put it in one of my muffin pans. Okay. Like that. Whoop. And I'm going to put in some fruit. Now, my choice is, okay, just going to see if stuff drips out of there, but I could have my banana strawberry. I've got, how about no sugar added strawberry jam? Or I could have double fruit, apricot or apricot, depending which country you grew up in, jam. Or I could have old-fashioned style Christmas mincemeat pie fruit. Which do you think has the most calories in it? Is it this one, the old-fashioned mincemeat that mince pies are made from? Do you think it is the double fruit apricot? Okay, the strawberry and banana frozen fruit? Or the no sugar added? Which do you think are the top three? Let's see how we do. And by the way, I know. It's the whole thing, May. That's why we do these experiments. I didn't know. It's so exciting. So let's see if I can get them in order, right? This one is the no sugar added strawberry jam. Yep. And for a tablespoon, 20 calories. All right? All right, so Jeannie says she thinks this will be the least. So we'll put this here, because at the moment, that is the least. You can see that one? Good. The next one is, how about the double fruit? All right. By the way, this one is double fruit, but I got one that is 50% less sugar than jam with pectin. So I'm getting crafty. Surprise, surprise. 1 tablespoon of this is 20 calories, as opposed to 20 calories of this one. So these are one with less sugar, but twice the fruit makes up the extra sugar. And they're the same in terms of calories. Were you surprised? I was. I was shattered. I went, you mean I can have this way more often than I thought I could? All right, now what have I got? We've got the, hang on, I've got to find my piece of paper here. My strawberry and bananas, 100 calories for a cup. How many desserts can we make from a cup, people? You see, how many of you are going, I had no idea. A whole cupful. I could make enough to feed an army out of a cup. And then, what about the mincemeat? I love mince pies. So, and what has it got in it? It's got apple, sugar, glucose, fructose. We know that's not good. Orange peel, cherries, pineapple, papaya, lemon peel, raisins. So, it's got everything in it, right? Very tasty stuff. Surprise, surprise. This one is 180 calories for 1/3 of a cup. How many little desserts could I make out of 1/3 of a cup? Quite a few. And by the way, the interesting thing is it's 11% fiber. So it also is high in, well, I say high, but it also has potassium, calcium, and iron. So although it's got some bad stuff in it, all right, this has some good stuff in it. Very tasty, but it does have sugar. And that's why it's going to taste so good. So do you understand? The truth is, I can have all of these. Right? I don't have to choose between them. I can have all of them. Why? It's all about portion control. If I made a dozen of these and ate them, I'd be in big trouble. But I'm not going to do that. You see, I'm going to take the lid off if I can. By the way, the best can opener I've ever found. Look at that. And I've got arthritis. So can you see that I can have it all? It is all about what size and how many. So let's have a look at this fruit one. I definitely think this fruit one. It's a bit tangy because I put the lemon juice in it. I'm going to leave that a bit longer. So now I'm going to start with the mince pie one. I'm just going to take a teaspoon and put that in. Oh, yeah. So good. But I could also have done it another way. And this is what I want to show you. So if we know that 1 tablespoon of that was how many calories? 180 for 1/3 of a cup. And I just used, I used a teaspoon. Look at that. All right, let's do another one. And what I'm going to do is do it a different way this time. It's a little thick still. A bit more pressure, so. Okay, a little bit of butter in it, not too much. We need something sweet this time. Let's use, let's use a bit of honey. Now, again, remember, we can use it, but just don't use it too often. So I'm going to use a little bit of honey in here to sweeten the dough. So I've used about a quarter of a teaspoon. On that one. Now, Jody will tell you honey, good antibiotic. So it has reasons for being there. Let's put on some cinnamon. Rub that all in. I love Friday evenings. And let's put in some jam on this one. Oh, where's the best can opener? There we go. So I'm going to put some jam in. Again, remember, I can do it, just not do it too often. And now what I'm going to do is roll it. Oh, don't do that to me. Stay there. You sort of have to make a plan. Otherwise, the jam wants to fall out. Jam definitely likes to fall out. Okay, so now then, got one mincemeat, and now I've made these really cute little, and we know as it cooks, it's going to rise up. It sounds like a song, to rise up. So that'll be interesting to see how they turn out. All right, so that's that jam. Oh, look at that, more jam. I'm going to eat these myself, so I'm not spreading germs, people. Now, you see how little jam I used? Just literally a tiniest bit. No, so that doesn't belong there. It belongs there. So now, let's take some more. Now that you've got the idea of what I'm doing. Because I can make some of these and just freeze them. I'm going to roll them a little bit in the jam. There's a little bit of jam left on there. I'm just going to put some cinnamon in there as well. bit of butter. And just spread that over it. And now, I think that might be, and maybe I can do it with this. I'm going to take one of these, just spread it out a bit more in my palm. And then I'm going to take some of the banana and strawberry. And I've just put in a teaspoonful. Oh dear. It's going to fall all over my hand. What a pity. How tasty will that be? That works. Let's try it the other way around. Let's put it in here first and then put it. Okay. And let's do another mincemeat one. Oh. So I'm just taking a teaspoonful. It's definitely got rum in it. Or something that tastes like rum. And I'm just going to put these in the oven for about 20 minutes. I probably check them after 10 to see how they're doing and see what happens. Never done this before, so be prepared to see a failure. So I've put them in at 350. They look good, don't they? By the way, we're going to top them in a minute. You understand, we're only halfway through this fun process. Now, I've got some of the dough left that's got cinnamon on it. So what about we do the obvious thing? We know this has got the butter and the cinnamon on it already. So let's roll this one out. Now, I'm pretty sure you all are smart enough to realize that this is all part of my, how can I incorporate fruit into my diet without sort of always eating it? What about some raisins? That would be the obvious thing. So let's put some raisins on there. And what if we don't just have cinnamon? Hang on one second. This is where I have fun, right? What if we add some allspice and make like specula? Love the taste of allspice. Oh, so good. So I'm just going to spread that around a bit that way, and spread it around a bit this way. How many of you, they do look good. Now, I could either chop it up into individual ones or I could cook it just like this. It looks like it's a do. I could do it many ways, couldn't I? However, you do know if I cook it like that, I'm going to eat it like that. So I'm going to put that one in a little, do that like that. What would you cover it with? That's our next question. Now, I took out about a cup of strawberry and banana, and I've only used a very little bit of it. So and I like adding just that little bit of tartness to it with the lemon juice as you gather. So now I can make more desserts. All right. I'm just going to use up some of this. Let's go mad and fill it all up. Well, not quite. So here we've got a base of strawberry and banana. And what I want to start talking to you about is what are our choices for covering these? Any ideas? I'm thinking peanut butter. Have you ever had cinnamon roll with peanut butter on top? Why do we like peanut butter? It's, good for us. And why not? It's like bacon, people. Get brave. I'm definitely going to put peanut butter on one of them. All right, now I've got lots of other choices. How many of you going cream cheese? What about the difference between cream cheese and French creamy vanilla? French vanilla creamy. Which one has the most calories? Just take a guess. Dum 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 dum. Nobody? Have a guess. What is your gut feel? Would it be the cream cheese or the creamy French vanilla? And the answer is they are the same. Both 140 calories for 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons is quite a bit. No, they're the same. The difference is that in the cream cheese, which one do you think has most sugar? The creamy French vanilla or the cream cheese? You see, this is where reading the labels is fascinating once you get into the habit of doing that. And the answer is the sugars in the creamy French vanilla. I'll do the carb count in a minute. 19 grams for a serving. And in the cream cheese, 22 grams. Anybody surprised that the creamy vanilla has a different, is actually lower? That surprised me. All right, carbs, total carbs, French vanilla, 8% or 23 grams. And in the cream cheese, total carbs, 23 grams, 22% sugar. So interesting, right? I didn't know. However, we have other choices. Agreed? What if we use Dream Whip? All right, this you mix up with a cup of or half a cup of cold milk, and it turns it into a topping. Amazing. For 3 tablespoons of this made up, it is 25 calories when it's made. And that would be 1% carbs. Now, what I found, just to give you a great hack, all right, I make this up one packet like this. And I put it in, oh, that's 2 packets, but 1 packet. Have any of you ever used this stuff? I put this, and I make it up, and then I put it in a mason jar and keep it and use it like cream. I sometimes chill it and let it become ice cream. But there's another trick to it. You've never seen this. Okay, Dream Whip. You literally just put in ice cold, it's really nice cold milk with it, and half a cup of it, and just mix it up. By the way, you can add a bit of vanilla to it. The other thing you can add to it, which really works well, is I add a little bit of jelly powder. All right, just a little sprinkle of it. Changes the color, gives you another option, and it really stays beautifully in the fridge so that, every night when I pull out my dessert, I can just give myself a little scoop of it. How decadent does that feel? And yet, it is not that serious. Remember, it is all about portion control. Now, if I sat and ate the whole tub, not as good for me, but literally a large tablespoonful, thank you, I'll take it. And as you all know, I've kept my sugars under control for 6 years, and this is how I do it. And I have dessert every night. Have you guys seen me make cakes in the microwave? Because that's another really good hack. If you have a sweet tooth, but you want portion control, obviously baking a cake is dangerous because I'd eat the whole thing. So what I have learned to do is I open up a really yummy cake mix. And all I do is I put some hold on 1 second. Dessert is looking really good. Okay, this is literally what I do when I feel in the mood for some cake. Okay? So I put in about, this ramekin is about 1.5 cups. So I put in about half of that, not even half. That's about a third. And then not many eggs in there. Then I just take an egg. Remember, don't crack it on the side of anything. That's how you get the shell in there. Just crack it on flat and drop it in. And then all I do is I just mix it in. Now, sometimes I will throw some fruit in here as well. So let's huck in some cranberries in here. Cranberries are good. They are good antioxidants. They are good. I think they're also anti-inflammatories. Am I right, Jody? I know that they're good for you. So that's a little thick. You see that? It's a bit to the... And we don't want that, so I'm going to add some milk. Don't ask me how much. That magic thing of some. And then I quietly mix the milk in, or loudly, it depends how I'm feeling. There we go. So there's the consistency, still a little thick. I can put a little bit more milk in. And the reason I want to show you is how simple this is when you just crave some cake. There we go. Now that's what I'm looking for, right? So it just runs through the fork like that. And you know I'm going to do the wrong thing here. Okay. What do you think, people? And I get the toppings on those. They are going to be awesome. I did it 15 minutes at 350. You know what I'm having for dinner. Okay, so the second batch we're going to put in, first we get this lot out of here. We're going to put in raisins, and then I'm going to halve this, sort of. Okay, so I've just halved the amount that I mixed up. That's all. And what else can we cook? No, I think that'll do. We'll put those in. Jody, could you give me a 5-minute warning, please? That would be awesome. So now, do you understand? I've got lots of options this week. And it's just up to me what I eat and what I put on top of it. Thank you, Jody. I appreciate that. So I'm going to let these cool a little bit. But now we get to choose what are we going to put on top. But I wanted to give you some, I'm trying to work out which one I'm going to put the peanut butter on. Maybe over the raisin log. I think I'm going to put it over the raisin log. I got a feeling that will go nicely. All right, so we can put, by the way, normally you let everything cool before you put the icing on, but because we don't want to use too much icing, right, we just want to use a little bit to give it a glaze. I can put it on while they're hot. And then they can cool. So I'm just going to literally take a little bit of icing. And this one happens to be the cream cheese. Which means that on this one, I'm going to put the French vanilla. I didn't know that the French vanilla was exactly the same. That is so exciting to me. So I'm using about a teaspoon. Maybe a bit less. You understand? Not using very much, just enough to give it that decadent taste. Now, as some of you probably want to see that Dream Whip done, let me mix some of that up so you can see it. So I'm taking half a cup of cold milk. And one of those packets, what did I do with it? There you go. And just because I happen to have the strawberry thing, I'm going to put some of the wrong packet. So I'm going to put a little bit of the strawberry, actually it's the raspberry jello in it. Hang on a second. We need scissors. Now, we could also use food coloring, obviously, but I just like to just put in a little touch. Hardly any. See that? And this will last all week in the fridge. There I have some left over. So now I've got raspberry topping, and I'm just going to put it in the fridge. In about half an hour, it will be firm. Right? And in the meantime, clean up on aisle 9. Any questions? Isn't it surprising that I eat all these things and keep my blood sugar under control? All right. So Sandy's saying she's type 1 and it's not from eating sugar. And I totally get that. I am really fortunate that I have managed to do this the way that I have. By the way, the trade-off, and I think you should know that, the trade-off is I'm having my Irish stew without any potato or anything in it. It's just vegetables and meat. But it will taste really great because you know what's coming afterwards. And as I sit here, I've got to thank Jody. Jody taught me I can eat everything. Just be careful of the portion control. All right. But what I've learned, Jody, as you can see, is what can I do to make it less damaging to me? And that's why I've come up with all these little things for desserts. And I thought I really should share them with you. Any of you can see that, you serve these on a plate. People are not going to ask you how you got there. They're just going to go, that looks yummy, and eat it. Definitely needs a whole lot more. The little cake mixture, I want to tell you, if I put it in the microwave, I can cook it in 2 minutes in the microwave. This is taking longer to do in the toast and the air fryer, which surprises me. But literally, I can put it in the microwave and hit 2 minutes, and that will be cooked. Instant cake in a heartbeat. Wonderful stuff. How often do I do it? About once every 2 weeks. All right, I don't have it every day. I don't have it every week, but just every now and then. So the raspberry flavored cream is a very nice addition. I definitely recommend it. But remember that I chose to do it with the Dream Whip. And here's the reason why. If I can find it. Got the box. And this gets interesting. There is a tremendous difference between whipping cream, cream in a can, and fake cream. Cool Whip would come into fake cream as well. And by the way, that's another thing that I use sometimes. I just keep a little tub of Cool Whip in my freezer. And so if I really feel like a change, I just grab some of that. But here are the difference. Do you want it in carbs or calories or both? This prepared, we know, was 25 calories for about 3 tablespoons. All right. And as I said, it lasts me all week. It has 1% or 3 grams of carbohydrates. That's all. Cream in a can lasts the longest of time, obviously. 40 calories for a third of a cup. And it has 3 grams of carbohydrates, as opposed, the same amount of carbohydrates. It has 2 grams, of which 2 grams of sugar, which is exactly the same. Calories are 20 and they are 40. This is twice as many calories. You go to whipping cream, everybody's favorite. For 1 tablespoon, 45 calories, no sugar, but it does have a little bit of sodium, potassium, and calcium in it. Now, why do I buy this? Because I use some of it during the week as a treat, but the rest I turn into butter, and I give it away, or I don't use very much butter. I normally give the butter away. Makes sense. The little mini cakes, I will add fruit on top because I'm always looking for ways to include fruit into my meal. So I will add fruit on top and then a topping. Every day, I get all of that. All right, I get the tasty bottom, the fruit, and then the topping. And it works. Which one do you want me to try? I think I should try. I'm trying to see what I've got here. I think they can come out now. I just need to cool a bit more. Oh, it's going to be dangerous, that one. Yum. So there's one. Two. 3. They're going to be yummy. 4. 5. 6. 'That's good. That's good. Okay, so these are my 2 little mini cakes. And all I will do is I'll just cut around them and then let them cool. Just helps them cool. And what I'm thinking now is I will probably pour this mixture on top of them and then a topping. Sounds good to me. I'm going to put peanut butter on the roll. And again, what I want you to remember, it's about, all right, how damaging is peanut butter? 1 tablespoon is 90 calories. That's probably less than a tablespoon. Now, obviously, my biggest challenge will be to get this lot put away in the freezer so I don't eat them all tonight. Which one do you think won't make it to the freezer? And then all I will do is bring them out and just quietly warm them up at room temperature and have them for dessert. And I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 desserts in an hour. And none of them are going to be too damaging to me. I think that's pretty good portion control, and it's pretty good taste for me. And I just feel every night when I have dessert, I feel good, right? I feel like I'm living. I don't feel like I'm depriving myself. And the other thing is this. I might have this very tasty treat, which we know has got the strawberry banana in it, but I might put fresh apple next to it. all right, and a dollop of the cream. So all the time I'm looking, how do I add more fruit in, because getting enough fruit in my day is an important part of my regimen. So I'm hoping you enjoyed that. My Irish stew is warming, and I'm going to be having that in a second. And then the rest of it I am going to put away. And then during the course of this evening, I will take the rest of the dough and divide it up ready for the pitas. And they will go, I'll just flatten them out in pita-sized pieces, and they will go in the deep freeze. And every day I take one out and let it sit on the counter for the day. And it makes the perfect pita. It's wonderful. So you don't have to use pastry. You don't have to use a whole lot of junk if you don't want to. You can eat things, but just get creative. Be careful of the portion control. That is the biggest issue, portion control. I could quite easily inhale all of this tonight. I'm not going to. As much as I want to, I'm not going to, because I will pay the price. And that is the price I choose not to pay. So, hope you enjoyed it. Which one did you like best? And were there any surprises? Were any of you surprised at the calorie counts and the carb counts on some of these things? Will you have another look at jam? When you realize that really, just a teaspoon of jam can make all the difference to a taste. I quite often will throw a teaspoon of jam in with chicken. I'll be cooking chicken and I'll be making a gravy for the chicken, but I'll throw in a literally about a teaspoon of apricot jam in there, and then use it as a glaze over the top. Adds a lot of taste for a very small amount of money. That is the other thing. I found that when you know what the sweetnesses are, then you get a whole lot of bang for your buck. Just 1 teaspoon can make a complete change. All right, Isabel's saying, I'm not a dessert person, but the little cake sounds really nice. Yes. And you understand, I'm cooking like probably, I would say about this much cake by this much round, all right? So I'm not having a slice with gobs of icing on it or anything. I'm just making a little base. And I'll put fruit on top of that and a little cream or something on top of that. And I've got a really tasty dessert. So think about that, right? But be a little creative and go, how many different desserts can you make just for the change of it? Those cakes, I want to tell you, if you are into ice cream, a dollop of ice cream on top of one of those tastes wonderful. I really recommend it. By the way, one of those dollop of ice cream and some mandarin oranges on top, I thoroughly recommend that. Very tasty. So get creative. Know that you can eat, things that you probably don't think about. Just be careful of the amount that you eat. As you know, one of my favorite things is to go out to dinner with Marnie, because she and I both love desserts. And we don't really, have big desserts unless we go out together. And we will nearly always have, a dirty great slice of lemon meringue pie, or, some other really grossly dangerous to me type dessert. But I do it maybe twice a year. It's like, it's okay. I can do that. And then I make sure I drink gallons of water when I come home to balance it out. So be careful of your hydration. If you're taking stuff that is more sweet, make sure that you take plenty of water to balance it out and get it flushed through your system in a hurry. And that way you will stay healthier. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, I hope you had fun, and I look forward to seeing you again. I'll see you all on Sunday afternoon, when we will talk about coping with stress. And I will update you more on my biopsy that I had and the results and everything, and what the path forward looks like for me. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, love you dearly. Jody, thank you for being here. And to all of you, keep eating well. Just eat less of it. Bye-bye for now.